this example and the efforts of the Bloomberg administration to advance those issues that are so clearly and historically part, not obviously just of New York City's or the state's public contracting process, reflect two things. One, in the absence of any alternative experience, meaning no private sector, these questions wouldn't be raised. And one of the benefits of a PPP process, forget at the moment where you end up at the end of it, is that it exposes these issues in a context that allows you to say, oh gee, I could transfer all this risk to a third party, and those questions would no longer be on my plate, they'd be on someone else's. Then I get to say, am I comfortable with that? Do I think there are enough third parties out there that I'm not simply sort of, I'm irresponsibly counting on one enterprise, the only one that matches in any respect the skill set and experience that I need in this regard? Or is it like fixing roads and streets and bridges where there are many of them and some who would be prepared to put their own capital at risk, and should I evaluate that? So this process is in many respects helping us look at how do we do this better as the public sector. And one of the tools, not a solution, can be to say, in this instance, I'm prepared to go a little further because I've learned from this experience and I would go to a public-private partnership. And I think you would see examples of that. I treat in the brownfield context, and I think of this particularly with toll roads, the concept of public monopoly. It's great. When there was no franchise, government came in and created franchise, and through indebtedness actually created toll roads, which are now replete through this area and not so commonplace in other parts of the country. But no one ever tested them against other models. And whether or not we go forward with any forms of public-private partnerships around them, put aside the way they've been presented as sort of cash cows, it is appropriate to say, let's start to do a little more accurate performance measurement on these public assets, even if they stay in the public sector. I just learned as a frequent traveler through New England that the Massachusetts Turnpike manages to spend $79 out of every $100 on operations. I said, that to me is a phenomenal figure for the operation of a facility. And I've driven on it for 35 years, and I wouldn't know the difference between being that and on any of the other roads and bridges. But somebody knows the difference, and they're enjoying it. So this is creating an environment in which we will force degrees of introspection, if not transfer, that are valuable.